So the district has property that it obtained almost 10 years ago. And if you go back and look at where the board was 10 years ago and looking at this decision, they proposed an elementary out there at that site. That's the reason they purchased this property. And then since then, we've grown almost 900 students, with about 800 of those students residing in that part of town in the Longview area. Our school boundaries go all the way up to Pinecrest Country Club, and I know a lot of people know where that is, and so that's a familiar landmark. And so when you map out how large this district is, we're 190 square miles. We have a large population that resides in that western boundary. We have buses that pass by this location. We have parent commuters that pass by this location every day. And so when you look at the logistics of it, the balancing of the mapping and the attendance zones that we're looking at and that we propose, this is really going to help us balance out the configuration, the demographics again, and then logistically. You've got quadrants across the school district boundaries that really map out and represent where our students and our parents reside. We've already done some preliminary studies working with the City of Longview. We have a traffic study underway, really trying to study the impact of adding additional bus traffic and car traffic into that area. We do want to make sure, number one priority, that it's safe, that it's efficient, that there are good passageways for all of our patrons to go in and out of that campus. But we're going to try to make sure and be sure that we do that well, and working with the city and the state and all the entities that need to be involved in that decision. You also have to study and look at the traffic impact, not just out there, but you have to look at the traffic impact here in town. And again, talking about the area that we call the hub, which we've got 3 campuses over here in the center of the hub. And if you go down 450 in the mornings and in the evenings, it's a complete nightmare. And I think all the locals understand that and know that. And so by extracting this traffic load out of that portion of town and pulling them out of that main artery, you're really helping free up even more logistics in the heart of the district. And so we are really asking the architect and the engineers to zone in and make sure that we've got a really solid plan. It's going to be very similar to, I would say, North Elementary is one of the models that we're studying, but we're also looking at, again, bringing traffic in off the loop and then the impact that you'll see on Page Road. But one of the ideas that came up during our bond steering committee meetings is having what we call a bus transit loop, where parents could come in, drop their students off that would attend West Elementary, but also drop students off that would have to travel into what we call the hub, or the main part of the school district. So we're looking at design, we're looking at some other options there. We certainly haven't finalized any of that. And how can we make it, again, as efficient and effective in making sure that those students get to their design campuses, West Elementary, but also include how we can transit them in and out of the regular hub here in Hallsville.